Hi guys, welcome to a new live trading session by Geotus. कैसे हो सब लोग? How is everyone doing? I hope everybody is doing great. Welcome everyone. So guys, am I audible? सब कुछ clear है मेरे side से? Is my screen visible and my audio is fine? Can you please confirm guys in the chat? Guys, please confirm it in the chat. Those who are watching. Perfect. Let's start. So, guys, as you can see, the markets have turned very much bearish, and our signals have been doing quite great. So, if you're following our signals, then do mention it in the chat box only. So, we have shared multiple short signals in the last couple of days, and they have worked pretty well because the markets have given a one-sided movement on the downward direction. So, as you can see on 4 hours time frame and on all time frames, basically, right? So Bitcoin has come down to almost 74,000, right? 74,000 was the low for Bitcoin, and the market has been falling like straight for the last 4 days. So if you see here, since since the market touched 90,000 the last time, we can see BTC falling by more than 16% in the last 5 days, right? And if you have a look at Ethereum in the same time frame, so this has also given a pretty big fall, right? So from around 3040 to around 21 to 2190, right? The low happens to be around 2160. So it's quite big, almost 25% fall in Ethereum, and it has broken down its major support of 2400. As you can see, this was the major support, and it is testing the June 2025 low, which happens to be around 2100, right? So of course guys, a very big fall in the market, and the next major support zone happens to be this only. I mean, if you see, if you check, so this whole area, right, from here to here, this is a pretty major support zone, because last time the market fell in 2024, when Ethereum fell to 2100 level, so it actually took support from this area only. And even this time, the market has come back to this particular area after correcting by more than how much? After correcting by more than 50%. So Ethereum has fallen by 50% from its all time high, more than 50%. Right now, again, guys, this is very much crucial for us to understand if this particular level breaks, right? So, for example, if we also have a look at BTC, right? So for BTC, this 70,000 zone to 72,000 zone, right? This is very important. It is not a big deal that the market has fallen this much from the high, but what's actually the big deal here is the market is now trading around an absolutely important support zone. And if by any chance this support breaks down, if by any chance market goes below 70,000, or maybe just closes around 68, 69,000, something like that, then actually there will be a big continuation, a long term continuation of this fall, and the market can come back to 50,000. That's my perspective here, because see, if you check on the daily time frame, if this zone gets broken, this was a zone, this 80,000, 17,000 zone was so important that the market made a high around this particular area throughout 2024. Then the market broke this area following Trump's election, and then the market made a new high of around 1,26,000, but the prices again come back to that same particular zone from where it actually broke out. Now, if by any chance this breaks down, I mean, if market closes below the 70,000 mark, then from here we can easily see this falling to 50,000 within no time, because we will have a lot of buy orders. I mean, we have a lot of sell orders laddered around this zone below 70,000, guys, for sure. Okay, there will be heavy amount of selling, and the market should ideally come back to 50,000, 50 to 55,000. It's quite possible as per the chart, right? Now, if we look in the same way for Ethereum, so Ethereum is also heading for this kind of a fall only. And if if Bitcoin breaks that particular zone of around 72,000, and Ether maybe breaks $2,000 zone, then the next major support will be $1,500. Okay, so it's a pretty big of a correction. It's not a small correction. You can see Solana. What's going on with Solana? Solana is below $100, guys. I mean, it's at $98, and Solana is almost trading around the 2025 low, guys, which is again quite surprising. The way the market has fallen back to this zone, it's absolutely bullish. It's absolutely bearish. I mean, sorry for that. If you check on XRP, so XRP is also having the same kind of a price action. It's almost near 1.5 now, and it's crazy to see how the markets have been so much bearish. Okay, it's actually quite intriguing. It's not so great for us as investors. Okay, so just a second. Yeah. So, guys, it is clear that the markets will remain bearish for the next few weeks, if not months. Okay, and if we check on the lower time frames, the entries will be very much simple. Today is a Monday, right? So, if this particular level breaks, okay, if the market closes below 2,200, 2,170, right? So, we can see a short selling. Again, just be mindful of the fact that since the market has fallen so much in the last 24 hours, there can be a chance of a pullback, right? So full pullback from this current zone only, because this was one of those levels from where the market bounced last time, right? So a chance of a pullback can't also be ruled out. That's also possible. A small pullback towards 2,300 maybe, but overall the market structure is bearish. Do not expect any sort of bull run or something from this particular level. Okay, and that's what it is, guys. I mean, the entire market is heavily bearish now. Let's also have a look at the altcoins. So altcoins, like, maybe we can have a look at Doge. So Doge, as you can see, right, heavy amount of correction. It has broken all its weekly lows, and is heading towards $0.09. So currently, it is down by around 80% from its last major high as of 2025. Okay, it's actually crazy. You tell me, guys, which coin I should analyze for you, right? Before we jump onto our trading signal. Please go ahead. So, guys, which coin should I analyze for you? Please tell. Zcash, please, please, please. Awesome, awesome. Let's have a look at Zcash. So Zcash as of now, again, it has also corrected, but I believe the fall has been not so strong as compared to something like Ethereum or something. So Zcash is down by near around 24% from its last major high of around $400. So it's back to $300. So yeah, a 25% fall. So again, we can't do anything about it, guys. It's at a support zone as of now. But of course, if Bitcoin price remains bearish, then we can't at all expect Zcash to remain strong or something, right? It's going to remain bearish, and until and unless BTC again turns back strong from the bottoms, we won't see any sort of recovery in any other altcoin, right? Hype is interestingly quite strong. It has been doing well. I mean, if you check Hype on daily time frame, it's managing to defend this $30 mark for quite a while, even after so much of bearish movement in the market. Hype has actually managed to hold to its levels quite well. Now the question is, why is it so, right? So clearly there is a lack of short selling going on in Hype. There is a good range bound kind of a movement which is happening, but just to let you know, this shouldn't be one of those factors which you might look into for buying Hype at current levels, because we are not really sure whether Hype is definitely going to remain bullish or not, right? Even after it has managed to hold up to its levels very well, until and unless BTC doesn't support, and secondly, if Hype doesn't close above 33 or $34, this is going to be, you know, captive within this particular range only, right? Do not expect this to give the next big rally within no time. Okay, so that's my analysis on Hype. But again, this is quite interesting to see that Hype is one of those coins which have managed to hold to its levels so much strongly, right? Even in this kind of a heavily bearish market, right? So that is definitely good for Hype as a coin, right? So just a second. Yep. Coming back to BTC, right? So BTC again, guys, you have to be very much aware of what BTC is doing on a closing basis on 4 hours time frame and on daily time frame both, right? So BTC below 75,000 will be absolutely bad for the markets, in my opinion, right? We can't. I mean, we don't want to see this below 75,000 at all, like at any cost. Let's also have a look at the Dow Jones futures, because that should also sort of give an idea of what exactly is going on with the US markets. So DJIA futures, right? So you can see Dow Jones is also heading for a reversal. I mean, it was bearish, it was bullish for a long time, but the current futures candle is not so great, right? If you look at Nikkei index, which is Japan, so Japan 225 daily. So Nikkei index is also down by around 1% today. Nifty, again, Nifty is heavily influenced by budget, and Nifty's daily candles seem to be quite interesting, guys. I mean, what exactly happened with Nifty on daily time frame? Can you just check this, guys? Two candles, is this a glitch of trading view? I have to see this. 30th Jan, Sunday, 1st February. Okay, so there is one wrong candle here. Okay. So again, you guys must be aware of the fact that the union budget was rolled out yesterday, and Nifty is kind of influenced by that. Okay, so again, our local markets are definitely going to be different if we compare it against the global counterparts. So again, what we should actually closely watch is the Nasdaq, right? Mm. So Nasdaq again is currently trading around $25,000. Okay, and Nasdaq is clearly giving a proper reversal on the chart. I mean, Nasdaq is weak, right? And if you look at gold, right, XAU, maybe let's just look at PAXG because that makes more sense for us. PAXG USDT dot P. So this is gold, guys. So gold is absolutely bearish. I mean, the way it has, uh, corrected from its recent high, so it's almost down by 20%, right? So I was covering this in the last session. If you check on the yearly time frame of gold, right? So gold has managed to give 64% return last year, right? Gold is one of those assets which we consider to be a safe haven asset, and gold usually gives a return. I mean, if you look at the average annual return that gold gives, right, the average CAGR, right, so that is around 7 to 10% for gold. But last year gold has given a return of 64%, and and as of 2024 gold has given 30% in the whole year. This year, since the start of January, in just 1 month, gold almost gave a return of 30%, which is crazy, right? This is not normal. This is not normal gold that we are looking at, right? There is, of course, something going on with the gold prices, and not only gold, with all the metal prices, the precious metals in general, right? So, following this good amount of rally as of January, gold has now corrected by a huge amount, and this everything has happened at the same time. The equity markets have also crashed, the precious metals prices have also crashed, right? The crypto prices have also gone down. So definitely something is not doing well, right? If you look at silver, right, so for us it is XAG USDT dot P perpetual future, right? So silver is, again, silver has been one of the most bearish assets if we look in the last 1 week of returns. So silver is down by around 40% from its recent high. So we have been seeing lots of bullish comments around silver, around platinum, and around gold as well, somewhat. But all of this have fallen so much on a contractual basis. I mean, the contracts of this particular metals as well as the equities, right, have been so much bearish. And if we compare it against crypto, so silver is down by 30, how much? 39%, right? And if you look at BTC is down by nearly. I bet I'm not looking at the high. Yeah, just a second. So if we compare it to BTC, so BTC is down by almost 40% from its all-time high, right? And if you look at the recent high which Bitcoin made, which is around $98,000, so Bitcoin is down by around 23%. So in the shorter term, Bitcoin has actually outperformed silver and has closely replicated what gold has given in terms of the returns, right? So BTC is definitely one of those assets in the shorter term which is not being considered so much risky, right? As you like, if you compare it against altcoins, of course, BTC standards have now almost equalized something like silver and gold. So obviously, if we look into what Ethereum has been doing, so Ethereum is almost down by 40%, right, recently. So again, this tells us a simple story that crypto is not as much volatile as it was previously if you compare it against the standard asset classes, which of course include equities and precious metals, right? So overall, what can be understood from this particular narrative is, gold I mean sorry crypto is falling with the entire financial market ecosystem, that things are getting cheaper, kind of deflationary. If you look at US dollars, so US 100, not US 100, sorry, DXY. So US dollars is again not so strong. I mean, of course, it's weak indeed. And if you look at USD INR, right? So USD INR must be somewhat, yeah. So INR has been underperforming against dollar, so that's quite common to see. But overall, what we can understand from all these things is, right, whatever is leading to this entire global market correction is not only influencing crypto, but it is also influencing the precious metals. And we can take this as a buying opportunity for crypto, because whenever there has been some sort of this bearish circumstance, right, uh, which happens to take place maybe once or twice in a year, right, we have always seen a reversal from the bottom levels, right. We have always seen some sort of a recovery once the markets hit a major support zone, right. And we should ideally take this whole understanding and consider creating a portfolio of BTC as well as a few safer altcoin options, and maybe hold this for the next 4 to 5 months, right. So that can be what, that can be our way to mitigate against whatever losses we might have suffered within this particular crash. Or if you have been following our signals, then of course that is something that must have benefited you, because we have been giving lots of short signals across Solana, across XRP, across BTC, as well as on Ethereum. Right, BTC I think we have skipped because altcoins have done too well in terms of shorts. Okay, if you look at BTC dominance, which of course tells you how well BTC is doing against the altcoins. So BTC dominance has been a little bullish, I would say, but not so bullish. BTC dominance is still around the same range only, nothing out of it, right? And if you look at USDT dominance, of course, USDT dominance must have gone higher, like by a crazy amount. And you can see this proper classic flag and pole breakout that can be observed on USDT dominance chart. And the prices and the percentage is heading towards 9% or 10% or something, and this is not so great for crypto. I mean, again, this tells us how people are ideally trying to hold stable coins, as against BTC or Ethereum, right? So that is again a very, I mean, that is quite common to see in this kind of bearish market. There is one more indicator that we can ideally have a look on if we are in a bearish market. So that is US fix, which is US volatility index. And the US volatility index is somewhat, stable. So this is more of an expected correction and not panic selling, right? This is an expected correction. What we understand from that is this correction is being led by institutional selling, right? The markets are consistently falling. The chances of a flash crash or something, you know like the way it happened last time in crypto, is of course very low, right? So we don't want to see Ethereum reaching $800 in within 24 hours. That's not something that is going to happen, because the US volatility index is quite stable, it's doing quite well. So overall, I believe we should see a reversal soon. If the correction continues, then we can see BTC bottoming around 50K. If the correction stops around 70K, then that could be a great buying opportunity, right, for all the altcoins, indeed, right? So primarily for those coins which have fallen by more than 80% from its all-time highs, from their all-time highs, or at least from the recent highs. So we can definitely look into buying them, right? So that's more about, like that's all we had to cover in this particular session, right? So just a second, what's exactly happening? 810 Zcash, please have to join. Guys, I believe my audio and everything is clear, because you guys don't seem to be interactive, but no worries. It's totally fine. So, if you got any doubts, you can clarify now. So, guys, if you are having any sort of doubts, you can ask, or else we can wind up. Because again, as of now, taking shots will be a little risky, but we can obviously take some shots in case BTC closes below 2170 or something, right? Ethereum, I'm sorry. So, with that said, we'll close the session here, and thanks everyone for watching. See you all in the next